what's up? My name is Mizzle. You're watching my channel, Mizzle 14, and I'm back doing a review of Family or Fiance, the episode of Alexis and Akil. Yes, I realized that this video is kind of late because this episode aired last Saturday, but I was behind. I was contemplating whether I should have did this on Instagram Live or YouTube video, but I said, you know what? Let me just record it, put it on YouTube. It is what it is. I still will do the next episode, so I'm going to record that next after this, and I'm going to probably upload that probably later on in the week, so it won't be too close together, and maybe tomorrow on Wednesday, and let's go from there. Now I think as Catfish is coming back on next week, and Real Housewives of Potomac is coming back on, I think I'm going to do Potomac, and I think I might switch Greenleaf to Instagram Live Talk, and I will stick with the Love at the Lockup, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Family and Fiance, and I will do Catfish or YouTube videos, and I will keep the other ones, the Greenleaf and Potomac and Marriage Boot Camp at Instagram Live, so I have more interaction with people on social media than the recording and stuff like that, because I want to overburden myself, especially when I have a full-time job and I get home late. Alright, so let's go Family and Fiance. Since it's like really late, I'm not trying to make this video so long. I'm just going to talk about some of the key points that I got from this. And then hopefully I have a conversation with people in the comment section of this episode, of this video in the comment section. Alright, so we get Alexis and Akil. They met at her job, and since then they be good. I don't think we haven't talked how long they've been together, but they are planning to be married, and they want their families together. Now, we already know they are raised in two different backgrounds. He's most like they say he's like a more Doughish type, which I don't see that, but I see like he's more of a laid back type of hood type person mentality that he got. Curse, don't give a damn, don't care what everyone will say about him, very secretive. He just got that tough exterior to himself. And whereas Alexis, she is raised in a family household. She raised upbringing in church and stuff like that, so it's like a more holistic type of approach with the family. Whereas his thing, yes, he had family, but at the same time it's like street, if you want to say it like that, street versus wholesome type of thing. But it was about too much about her growing up in the church and how so different backgrounds that they really focus on, and they focus on other different issues as well. Now, so they do 3 days as the house, and they talk about all the issues. If you haven't seen Family Fiance, they had 3 days in the house to talk about whatever issues they have, concerns, questions, trying to hash out the differences and whatever, until they get their last day, the blessing ceremony, where they're going to say yes or no to their blessing for them to get married. Whether the couple decides to go for a marriage, they get their blessing, or they decide to put hold on the marriage and work on themselves, or they decide to split apart after they realize, you know what, this experience is not right for us. We is not compatible. We was over our heads, and we're gonna move forward and just cut our losses here and just move. Set aside differences and move a different path. That's what they're trying to do. Now, Alexis brought her mom, Sharon, her stepfather, Danny, and her sister, Ashley. And then Akil brought his grandmother, Etta, his sister, Kendra, and his aunt, Vicky. And basically they saying that, and Alexis' side of the family is saying that they don't know much about him. He's very secretive. He's very disrespectful. He likes to curse. Alexis' mother do not curse. So when they come around the family, Akil and Alexis, he curses with the storm. So that's kind of like a being disrespectful to her. And they'd also mention the fact that when she mentioned that, well, if you come to my house, you should not be cursing. So when he said, if you come to my house, I'm going to curse. So this is my household. And when they do come and visit, he went outside the household and sat in a car and then interact with them. So it's like, it's kind of disrespectful towards them. It's like, when you come to your household, we're trying to make a bond, and you going out and stay in the car all the time while I'm here, and then come back in the house when I leave. It's like, how can you build a bond with the family if you're not going to try to interact with them? Now, in the whole point of household things, yes, I kind of agree in an aspect, in a way. Yes, you want to be respectful to the person who comes to your house and everything, but also at the same time, it is your house. So if they don't like how you run your household, they don't need to come. Which I know is kind of harsh to a lot of people, but I know a lot of people have their own. Your home, your apartment, your house, whatever you live in, is your it's your safe heaven. It's your peace. It's how you live. So if you raise your house on one way, and then you go to somebody else's different way, it's no way to try to change them and try to adjust. Now, it could be a way that he could tone down the cursing and not curse so much when you know that her mother have a problem with you cursing. You could tone down a bit. You don't have to curse all the time when they come to your house. But I do agree that they can't come to your house and tell you how you should be in your own house. But the fact that you leave at your house and let them come and you stay in your car, I do that feel like that's kind of rude. I mean, if you're trying to make it work and you're trying to get married to their daughter, then I think you should put the effort, Akil, to make it work with that. But at this time, he don't see that. He's very like emotional unattached, emotional unavailable. Like he just don't see no awareness. He's not aware of a lot of issues that's going on. He has himself his baggage, but it's like he just okay. All I can't do with that is too much crying, too much emotions. I don't want to go do with that. We good and everything. It's like sweeping under the rug type of mentality. And there's some people who are emotion unavailable, or emotion unawareness. They tend to overlook some things, or tend not to look at things at all, and think that okay, they're gonna get a little spell. It is what it is. It's no big deal. Now, they did talk about something about the taxes. How Alexis' sister Ashley felt that he conned her on the money, took her money. He did taxes for Alexis' sister, and she was only getting certain amount of money that Alexis was doing it for her, $700. But he knows the tricks of the trade. He gave her more money, but he charged her money for it. Now, according to Ashley, he took the money after he went on with it because he didn't tell her up front that he was going to take money out of it. Now, if you do taxes and you doing your own businesses like that, yes, you do charge people for taxes. So I don't understand why you don't be free. But if you wasn't up front and you did it kind of in your heart and you didn't charge them up front and tell them exactly what it is, then I don't feel like why you would charge them after you get the money. Now, I would say if you gonna help her, but let her know that okay, I'm doing this. It's not a free service. I'm doing it for you, but it's not free. Everything. But if you do it out of the kindness of your heart, then you just probably let her know that it's gonna be a charge. If it's no charge, then you should not take her money afterwards. Now, it was a miscommunication because Alexis told the family that she did not tell Ashley that he took over and doing the taxes. And Ashley always thought it was only Alexis doing it. So it was a misunderstanding of that. Now, when the families came, you could really see the tensions and interactions. Like, the mom didn't say hi to the groom and all that stuff. It was a lot. So they sat down and talked. And some of the issues that brought up was that they mentioned that he has attitude. Now, I kind of find it funny when they said that he's very emotional, unavailable. He don't show emotions, but he has an attitude. Attitude is an emotion. It's expressive. It's expression of an emotion. So if he have attitude, he could show he has emotions. He just choose not to tap into it when it needs to be. So if you have an attitude, he has emotions. Like, I understand when people say, oh, guys can't be emotional. Guys are emotional just as much as females. It's an expressive more of an anger towards. Female is more like the expressive motive, crying and everything. But they all guys who cries and they all guys, it's like that. Doesn't mean they don't have emotions. They have feelings. Guys have feelings just as much as females. Or just as more. Everything. Especially if you bruise the ego. Oh yes, their emotion shows out. So for people saying that guys don't have emotions, they don't feel it, they ain't supposed to be emotive, and they supposed to be aware. They are aware. They just choose to tap into when they want to tap into it, and choose to ignore things where they need to be not to be ignored. So it's like a switch. So they turn off the emotion when it's necessary, but turn on it when it's not necessary. So him having attitude, that's emotions that he has. And it's there. He can express the other emotions too. He can express the anger. He can express the sadness. He can express the happiness. Express all that. He's smiling during the most episodes. So it's like And I guess his smile was his defense mechanism. Said, oh, I don't see no big deal out of it, which actually is a big deal. Now, the aspect of him having a job, the mom expressed that he might be a bum. So I was taken aback. I said, oh, okay, you don't even know him. But his secretive of what he do. But according to him, he does many things. He does whaling, he does this, he's a jack of all trades type of job. He don't settle into one thing. He likes to put his money in different aspects. And he also does taxes. So he does different things, but he's really not telling exactly what is he doing. And if he does different things, he does different things. He said, I've done different jobs. It's not to settle. But he telling them that he's worked for the city. He worked for the city. And that's all he's saying. He didn't say anything what is the specific of the job he's doing. He just said he worked for the city. So that secretness is making the family uneasy, especially Alexis' family. They say he has an attitude, okay. They feel like they rushing to it. I do they feel the same way. A lot of these couples in the show rush to get married for some damn reason, odd reasons why they want to rush instead of work on it. Because a lot of people don't want to work on a relationship. They just want to go on it as appearance and appeal of being married. Not because they want to work on the issues and the problems they have. They like the fantasy of being married. But don't realize the reality that comes into marrying someone. Alright? And they also brought up about living together. How Alexis was raised was not the way how she accepted things now. Because we didn't raise her to grow up cursing. We didn't raise her to disrespect adults. And the fact that she's in a relationship with you and you disrespecting the family and you cursing around us and stuff like that, and just make her feel like what went wrong. Especially the mom, she feel like she did something wrong for Alexis to even choose this type of man. Now, what kind of man that Alexis is choosing that you feel like you did wrong and raise her, the fact that she was choose some type of man that is. Now, let's just say that Akil is a good towards her. He's not disrespectful towards me, but he may be disrespectful towards other people. Which is kind of a problem, because if he's disrespectful to your family, he could most likely probably be disrespectful to you in the future. Just like that. But what I get from Alexis, she like to put on the front that everything's so good. Behind closed doors, everything's coming down. So she's saying, oh yes, this is good, he's not doing this is alright, and everything's alright. Peaches and cream. But it's not that glitter. Basically, so it's very turmoil in the relationship, and she just like to put on the surface and bury it when you can't bury it anymore. It will creep up on you. So the fact that they have all these issues, and the fact that the mom said call him a thief or he a bum because he took Ashley's money, when there's a big misunderstanding, was a part of that. So that caused to Alexis and Ashley not to be close as they were, because they was close, and they feel like Akil came in between their friendship. Now Akil family, the sister Kendra, she was like, oh, I think she's bougie, I think she's very distant, we don't even know her about her like that. I said, how's she bougie? I don't understand what qualifies her being bougie. Like, you don't know much about her, but you think she uptight and bougie. Whatever. I guess because she judged her based on her upbringing, how she carried herself, and what kind of family she was raised in, and stuff. But they was like, can you accept him who he really is, and not try and change him? Because his side of the family feel like she trying to change him to please her family, and not accepting exactly who that person is. Yes, there are a moment of growth of anybody in a relationship, was also a moment of accepting the person's individuality. Now, if he's a certain type of way, it's very hard for him to change his attitude, his ways, and stuff like that, how he is as an adult, than to make an impression when he was as a young adult or as a teenager. It's very impressionable to get them to change when they're younger, than get them to change when they're older, because when they're older, they're set in their ways. So, are you accepting the whole Akil? Because Kendra mentioned that the relationship is fake, and you got this new Akil. That's not the new Akil. The only thing changed about him is the clothes, but this is not the kid. This is not the person we grew up with. This is not the person we know. So she said, well, this is a good thing or this is a bad thing. I don't know. I ain't really get an understanding what she said. The only thing changed by his clothes, but you say this is a new Akil. So what is it? It's like he putting a front for you. He's not being himself. That's what she trying to get at. All right, so Tracy get him tasks. She supposed to cook with his side of the family and answer questions. He supposed to answer any questions that they have. And basically, it really go well. And the Akil side, he just chalk off and said, "Oh, we got to agree to disagree about the taxes thing because they didn't see eye to the situation." Talked about the job. He was basically dancing around it. He wasn't really giving a clear cut of what he's saying. So that's why it solidified her think that he might be a bum. And it just straight. It didn't go well. His side, his thing, and her side, it was most likely miscommunication and the sister not getting along with her sister and stuff like that. So they had dinner, and the whole topic of the taxes came up, and the explanation of it. And she just felt like it wasn't upfront with me. You just took my money. Now, as you feel like he came in between those, and Alexis said, I would never have anybody come in between us. Our issues, and we break down because the mom said every time Ashley and Alexis had an issue, she was sat in the room and then they don't come out until they come in agreement. But now they're in this household, it's taking longer to take time for them to work on that issue. So when they had that chance to talk about it, they hug it out, they crying and all that stuff. But now he's like, oh, I can't deal with this emotions. Everybody's crying. It's this, it's that. It's not like you can't deal with it. It's like you just don't want to attach and deal with that. You don't want to break. You don't want to deal with the issues. You trying to bury it and feel like it's no problem, and you don't have a way to tap into the emotions that you want to tap in that point. It's times that she needs you, but you wasn't aware. You wasn't aware of what type of support that she needs. You're not aware that she's maybe sad. You're not aware that she's trying to put up a front for her family. You just like, okay, this is what it is. I can't deal with that. I'm not built for that. You built for it. You just don't want to tap into it. And that's what exactly I was saying in the beginning. He has emotions. Because he had attitude, he has emotions. Now, they went to the second check-in, and you could tell Tracy, it's like they're two different backgrounds. They explained that he's emotionally detached. And if you want to be with her family, they have a set of standards, and you got to meet that. And if you're not meeting that, then you just got to move on or work on it to meeting their standards. And if you want to be in a part of the family, this is an expectation they have of you. And you got to fulfill. You definitely have to fulfill. Especially when they have a family that's tight-knit and close bonding. Then if you want to get into that household, you got to fit in some way, shape, or form. Not change completely, but try to fit in. So she gave them a different task. It's a lightweight, improv comedy. Something to tap into things to show you how the other ways to express emotions, express feelings and stuff. So apparently, Alexis was taken aback because she was like, it's different how he came to this exercise and showing in front of strangers that he has emotions, because they had a thing about a dinner table and they gave a different level of emotions and activities, and then a zero, how you express, and they gave an emotions and express the emotion on in a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being the lower end, 10 being the higher end. And his emotions was angry. He did well. He escalated that thing and he did well. And now Alexis like, okay, so you do know how to show emotions. So when I need you to be showing that, how come you didn't show that? You showed this in front of the strangers, and he was the best in the class. He did his job. Everybody's laughing. It shows that he knows how to tap into the emotions. And it's like crazy. I said, yes, because he had it in him. He just didn't want to show it. So now after the exercise, he started to open up and see things. Be like, you know what? It probably needs to change, because if I don't change what I'm doing, I'm gonna lose Alexis, and he don't want that. So he made amends with the mother. He took the mother to the side and said, I apologize. I would do better, and I know you don't like her, so I would tone down into it. I mean, I don't think he would stop cursing, but he would probably tone down when they come. He would be more active when they come to their house. He would be present and not just leave. He apologized being disrespectful because it seemed like it's taking a toll on Alexis of trying to bear all the weight on her shoulders. And the fact that she always putting baggage, and then they have buying baggage, that she's putting baggage on top of baggage and making everything's okay. And it's not. So it's heavy on her. And she just don't want that. And so she having doubts. After coming in, she had no doubts. Now after the activities and stuff going on, she having doubts about moving forward in the marriage because now they realize they have a lot of issues that they was burying together and not dealing with that because his inability to express that emotions and to talk about and being secretive and not being open and not letting her in and not letting nobody in. At the same time, she has her wall up sometimes and she has expressed emotions and he's not aware that she has these type of feelings. It's like in one part, she was upstairs crying and he said, "Oh, I can't deal with that crying. Everybody's crying. This is that. It's too much." Even Kendra, his sister was like, "Oh, they do much crying. They do too much of that. I can't be at the wedding." It's like, there's too much going on. It's like, what's up with this? Oh, you can do well, you can be well. And it's so, I'm not going to be there. I was like, okay. So he realizes his stuff needs to be a change. It needs to change in some aspect. And he's willing. So long story short, they're willing to push pause on the marriage. They will stay engaged, but they will work on their relationship. They made the agreement together before they had the blessing ceremony because the third day they're supposed to do the blessing ceremony where they're going to continue with the marriage and where they get the blessings. But they say, you know what, we're not going to get the blessings right now. We're going to put pause on engagement. And they're supposed to be married because they still engaged. At the end of the episode, they say they still engaged. And they're going to work on themselves individually and as a couple because they both have baggage and they have to work on. So he'd be more open to be a more family person and be more aware and make an effort to be good with her style of family. And she make him an effort to not always bury things and cover up for him and talk things out. And now if he have a better understanding, he's more aware that he could be able to work on with his relationship with Alexis. And at the end, they decided to stay together. They go on a couple of counseling. And when the family visits, he's inside and he's not going out. But that was Family Fiance, y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel about this episode. Tell me what y'all think about this episode. Share my videos. And I appreciate all of y'all. And stay forward to my next Family Fiance. And I'm about to do that. Alright? Peace.